Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I have for you is episode 15 of my Football Manager 23 save with #United. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 20 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Drop a comment in as well down in the comment section down below. Where do you think I'll actually finish this season? Now, since you were last with us, we've played through a decent amount of games. I think we've played maybe around 15 games, something like that. We're towards the last stages of the season. With how the season was going and our trajectory of the campaign, I thought we were just going to be not really in too much relegation battle. I thought we were too good to be in real contention of relegation, but we were going to be miles off of the playoffs. We then carried on our really poor form. We then, for some reason, had a 2 or 3 week break. After that, we've come back. We've won 6 league games out of 7, and suddenly we've got an outside chance at the playoffs. So, you're going to see a little bit of the running. There's been some transfer business as well, so make sure to drop a like on there for me. Subscribe if you're new as well. Let's get into it. In terms of our transfer news then, Shane Barrain joined FM23 on loan for the remainder of the campaign. They're paying 100% of his wages. He's yet to make an appearance for them as of right now. He was also on loan with them last year, where he also failed to make an appearance. So he's not made a senior appearance for #United, but he's a youngster backup goalkeeper who's gone out on loan for the remainder of the campaign. And our other departure was MJ Kamara. We had to get him out to get our new signing in. He was on £100 per week. Our new signing is double his star rating. MJ Kamara was 2.5 star. Our new signing is 5 star current ability, and he only cost us £40 a week more. He has joined AFC Portchester on a permanent contract until the end of the season. There, I think the division below us or the standard below us, where he's not really performing too well. To be honest, in his 13 appearances for the Tags, he didn't exactly impress. Our signing then is Taylor Dodd. Really happy to get this one in through the door on £140 a week on a deal until the end of the season. We will try and extend that, but you never know with players at this level. He's a regional Premier Division standard, which I think is step 3 tier 7. We are step 4 tier 8 if I have got that one correct, and he's very good at 18 years of age, 6'1", pretty solid player. So far he's averaged 6.97 in his 6 matches. In terms of how we've got on then since you were last with us, like I say, we did play a decent amount of games. After our 3-1 win against Tilbury, we had a 3-3 draw away at Haringey before a 2-0 defeat at home to Sudbury, a 3-2 defeat away at Stowmarket, a 2-2 draw at home to Lowestoft, a 1-1 draw away at VCD. Then for some reason we had a 16-day break between our games. It was actually a 3-week break between league matches, so we decided to get a friendly against Malden and Tiptree where we got a 1-1 draw. Then we also played a game against Staines where we got a 5-3 win. We also had a 3-1 win at home to Billericay Town in the Velocity Cup 3rd round. That is a really impressive result for us. They are, I think, the same standards as us, just in a different region, but Billericay are a decent side. We had a 2-1 win away at 2-1 defeat away at Chatham, and then our good run really did start. We've had, five league wins in a row. A 2-1 win at home to Leiston. They scored an equaliser in the 91st minute. We went up the other end and scored a winner in the 92nd minute. Then we had a 4-2 win away at Malden and Tiptree before a 4-0 win at home to Brightlingsea Region. We unfortunately did have a 3-1 defeat at home to Tunbridge Angels in the Velocity Cup 4th round before a 1-0 win away at Dereham, and most recently a 4-2 win at home to Walthamstow. In today's episode then we have Needham Market away. They're currently 20th in the table, which I want to say is bottom of the league, and also Wroxham away, who are currently 5th in the table. After that we'll come back for our final 2 games of the season. Then we'll have our big summer rebuild. If we don't get into the playoffs this season, which is pretty unlikely, we are 11 points off with 8 games to go, so it is unlikely, but stranger things have happened. You never know, it could be an absolutely incredible resurgence to get back up into that top 5. We'll have a real good summer of recruitment. We actually had an offer in, well, not really an offer, someone tried to sign Alex Teniola. We offered him a part-time contract. He didn't sign the part-time contract, but he turned down the contract at the club who were trying to sign him, so I don't really know what's gone on there. Teniola for now is still on the books, and he's doing pretty well. 24 goal contributions now in 27. Obviously, since bringing in Jonathan Lacey, who's scored 8 goals so far, he's doing better than Reece Sarson, who's averaged a 6.44 in his last couple of matches. DPD is still cooking. We're doing really well. Let's waste no further time then and get into the first game of today's episode away at Needham Market. Here we have it then, here's how we line up for today's game away at Needham Market. We line up in a 4-2-4 formation with Taylor in goal, a back four of Beresford, SEN filling in at centre-back despite being injured and not being able to play at centre-back with Cunningham and Haysom, both currently suspended for this one, so they will be big losses for us. Dodd also starts at centre-back with Bateson at left-back. We've got Diol and DPD in the midfield with Hill and a Pengteng on the wings and Teniola and Lacey up front. Francis and Wright both dropped to the bench because they've not really performed too well so far this season. Bateson is now comfortable with playing at left back as well, which is very nice. Obviously we brought him in, he could only play left wing back, but now he is able to play left back and he can do a pretty decent job at it, so that is obviously positive news for us. On the bench we've got Harris, Wright, Francis, Brown and Sarton, who technically is still our second top goal scorer, but he hasn't really scored, or it feels like he's not scored consistently in a long time, so fingers crossed if he does come on in this game, if he is needed, he can come up with some goals. Like what I say, there's a real low chance of us actually making it into the playoffs, but if we do, that would obviously be very nice. Now, if this squad was to get up promoted, I would be very concerned going into next season, unless we had a sudden massive wage rise in the wage budget, that's what I mean. But we have to recruit right in the summer. I think I've got a new recruitment plan going into the summer. We've been doing it towards the end of this campaign. We're not just offering steady, decent wages for this level. You know, we were paying some ridiculously high wages for players who were absolutely bang average. I think the way I've been recruiting recently has done very well, to be fair, like with this new signing at centre-back in Taylor Dodd, 5-star current ability for only £140 a week. They are the type of players that we need to be signing more often, but you also need a couple of players like DPD in there who are just going to come in, not necessarily very good, but are performing pretty well, so I think DPD will end up having a new contract if he does want to keep them low wages, because you do need a few stocking fillers, if you get what I mean, you know, a few players who are happy to just be reserves and all that sort of stuff. But he's a pretty scrappy player so far as SCN wins the header. He finds Beresford and he clips one over the top looking for Jonathan Lacey. Shields is underneath that one and now Miller clips one down the line looking for, is that Darko over on that left hand side. He cuts back though and finds Howe. Ball played through here looking for Darko again. He's in on goal here, he shoots and it's an early goal here for Needham Market. I say early goal, we're nearly half an hour and it's from the first highlight of the game and Needham Market take the lead here. This is not exactly how I planned on starting today's episode. That is really poor defending from Beresford. SEN's naturally out of position because he can't play there. Taylor stands no chance of saving that. And against bottom of the league, who have only picked up 12 points prior to today's game, we're currently losing. We need an instant response here. Ball clip forward, looking for Teniola. Doesn't even challenge for that header, though. He wins the ball back there now. DPD picks it up in the midfield and he plays one out wide, looking for Rory Hill. Can he cut back on that left foot? He does. Ball into the box, looking for Teniola. And there is your instant response. Our number 10 with his 25th goal of the season. He started out the season pretty poorly. Since we've given him a strike partner, he's back to scoring goals for fun. He's back to being the Alex Teniola that we all know and love. Will he be able to hit that 30-35 goal mark once again? I'm not so sure, but a great ball in from Hill. Teniola on the volley. That is not an easy goal whatsoever, and it is an almost instant response here from the tags. SCN looking very tired, but our only other real option is Sam Harris, and he's now not even half a star in terms of current ability, so I'm not too confident in bringing him on, to be honest with you, as Miller has the ball here for Needham Market. Shields clips one over the top. That should be easy for Taylor to deal with, and he does claim that one very nicely. Can we build out from the back here? Taylor finds SCN, and he'll get that ball out of his feet and find Beresford. Driving forward here, he finds Diol. Can he clip one forward? He finds Beresford again. Now Hill goes down the line into Lacey. First touches of the game for him. Over the top looking for a Pengteng, whose form recently hasn't been great. He plays the ball in there. Teniola finds DPD into Lacey, and it's in the back of the net, but it's not going to count. Jonathan Lacey nearly had his 9th goal of the season, but that one is unfortunately disallowed. Good build-up play from us. Lacey is definitely offside there. Right decision from the line. As frustrating as what it is, it's been a pretty decent response from us since going 1-0 behind. Are we going to make any changes at the break? I'm not so sure as of right now. We'll see what happens from this highlight as Miller picks the ball up and swings one into the box looking for Ranger. Cleared away though by Bateson, and now DPD picks it up in that midfield. Happy to drive down the line with it, and he finds Alex Teniola. He looks over the top but for Lacey. We're stretching them very nicely here. There's a man free in the middle. If Lacey can find him, he can't. That pass wasn't the greatest, and now Needham Market will be able to clear, and that is a long ball sent forward. Beresford underneath that. DPD can't get there. Now Darko in on goal for his second of the game. Rounds the keeper and squeezes it in to the back of the net. Darko with the goal. Needham Market 2, #United 1. Just far too easy for Needham Market. I mean, Beresford again gets completely caught out with the pace of Darko. Taylor is in no man's land. Essien can't get there. And 3 minutes before half-time, bottom of the table, Needham Market are ahead once again. We got pretty much instant response last time they scored. Can we have another one here? Essien with a really poor ball forward there. And he does eventually get the ball back here and he sends another poor ball forward there. I have no idea what Essien is doing here. This time he gets his foot on the ball and he finds Taylor Dodd driving forward here with the ball. The best player at the club. He finds Rio Diol in the midfield. Rory Hill now goes out wide into James Beresford. Can he get a ball into the box? He cuts back here. Poor ball into the box. And Shields is able to clear. Essien though, he finds Beresford once more and he clips one over the top looking for Lacey or somebody. Eventually Belcher though comes out and claims that one pretty easily and he looks to release Darko once more, that frightening pace, and he's going to get on the end of this one into the penalty area. He's going to shoot and thankfully this time it's saved by Taylor. Absolutely shocking. Maybe we need to play our defensive line a little bit lower because Darko is causing us a lot of problems right now. I've never heard of him before, but he's a pretty decent player. If Needham Market go down, he might be a player that we've got to look at. But again, he could be one of these players who just performs in the big games. Let's have a look at him now that it is officially half-time. Is there a way for me to look at him? I'm not really too sure. I'm going to thrash the arms. You've been terrible so far. And let's get into the second half. And hopefully things can get a little bit better. Almost an instant highlight here. I've barely got a chance to catch my breath since the start of today's game. Essien, I swear to God, if he does one more long ball, I'm dragging him off because that is not the way we are trying to play. Hill now, he finds Teniola looking over the top for Jonathan Lacey. Can he get a ball into the box here? To the byline he goes. He cuts back looking for Teniola. Doesn't get underneath that one though. And Beresford absolutely bottles that 50-50. And now Booger goes out wide into Howe. Look at Beresford there, just jogging back. Get Beresford off this pitch immediately. And that's going to be a third. It's a third. James Beresford has been at fault for all 3 goals today. I don't care what his star rating is. I don't care what his potential is. He's gone at the end of the season. He's been at fault for far too many goals over the years. And that is just lazy. That work rate is embarrassing. Absolutely pathetic. I would much rather have someone who's not necessarily just as good, but gives it 110% every week. Because that is absolutely shocking. I'm dragging him off the pitch right now. I don't even care what's happening with that highlight. Essien can go over to right back. We get Sam Harris on at centre back and James Beresford. If he plays a game for this club again, it'll be because we are down to the absolute bare bones. That was embarrassing. We need an almost instant response here if we are to pick up the 3 points. Bateson now down the line looking for Kojo Opengteng. Can he get one into the box? He does. He finds Lacey. Teniola goal. Surely. Thank you. Teniola on the score sheet once again, and it's this time it is an instant response from us. Teniola with his 26th goal of the season. I mean, we thought many moons ago that Teniola, we were bringing in different strikers like Sarson and Lacey to replace Teniola. Instead, he's still our main man. He's still the one scoring goals, and we've got one back into today's game, but we need more from the boys here. We'll give them some more encouragement, and fingers crossed we can find an instant equaliser. We need one pretty much any time around now if we are to go on and win this game, but Needham Market are creating a lot of chances. We're dominating the ball. We're just not really doing too much with it. Francis is now going to come on though for Kojo Opengteng. And final change of today's game, we're going to bring on, I mean, I'm looking at the options here, and there's not many. Wright is going to come on for Diol, and we're going to play Wright now as a advanced playmaker and try and play him a little bit higher up the pitch. Corner ball here for Needham Market, which Ranger will take. Right-footed out swinger, goes towards that back post, and it's almost an own goal there from Essien. I think Howe might have claimed a touch potentially. That was a good opportunity there for Needham Market, who have the ball once more in our half. Booger picks it up here, and he goes back into Bodycott. What can he do with it? He clips one forward looking for Ranger, who's in behind, squares it for Darko for the hat-trick. Big save there from Callum Table. Wait, has Darko already got the hat-trick? No, he didn't, because he didn't score the 3rd goal, did he? He's on a brace. Darko's very good. Might be a man who we need to look to try and sign. If we get Sarson or Lacey out the door, maybe Darko is next in, but Lacey has an opportunity here to maybe get an assist or a goal. He cuts back and finds Hill. Oh, Rory Hill, that's very bad. Very, very bad. This is the problem with your absolute last resort players. There's sometimes when they need to play not very good. DPD can't win that 50-50 there, and a ball is cleared. Both our centre-backs are on top of each other there. Harris now, he goes into Taylor Dodd. Swings a ball forward there, looking for Francis. Not a great ball whatsoever. And now Needham Market once again have the ball. We have to win this header. Well up Harris. Right now, off the bench, he finds Hill. Can he create some magic? It's a really poor ball there. It comes out to Ellison Wright though, on off the bench. Through, Teniola, Lacey. How is it not in the back of the net? Thank you. Is he onside? I feel like he's not. I could just tell by the way the camera was slowly panning towards the referee that goal wasn't going to count. I mean, how did Lacey miss that? And once again, it is the correct decision. Teniola is indeed, unfortunately, offside. 20 minutes left on the clock. We're going to stick it onto very attacking. And fingers crossed, this is an equaliser. But with a pass like that, I'm not so sure we're ever going to get anywhere near the goal. Longdon now clears it up the pitch. Bateson, he finds right into Rory Hill. Ball looking for Teniola, but again, just not the right ball from Rory Hill, who's really disappointed in today's game. Francis now on off the bench. Can we finally see some magic? Great ball in, looking for Lacey towards the back post. A little bit too much on it though, and Lacey's shot goes wide. 15 minutes to go, still 3-2 to Needham Market. Darko picks up the ball here deep in the Needham Market half. He's happy to drive with it. I actually just checked, he's an 18-year-old who's come up from their academy. He's actually a regen. He's scored 7 goals, I think, in 25 so far this season, so it seems he's just turning up in this game really, rather than being a consistent player. But he'll be looking for his hat-trick, or what I would think would be his first ever career hat-trick, so we've got to make sure that we deny him of that, and we need a goal ourselves here. They're sitting off really deep right now, and with balls like that from Ellison Wright, it's exactly why he's found himself no longer in the starting 11. Like I say, so many of our better players have just massively underperformed this season. Like, they're good on paper, but they're just not performing. I mean, even our bad players, when they don't perform, you expect it a little bit, but when your good players don't perform, you're on big money for the level, that is when it is really frustrating. As Teniola finds right, and somehow that's gone in. I mean, if my goalkeeper did that, is this going to be... You've not disallowed it. He's disallowed it. It's a third goal that's been disallowed. Why is it disallowed goals galore? Teniola's offside again. That's the third goal we've had disallowed in one match. Do you want to FM me any more, Football Manager? Jesus Christ. Shields with a ball over top, looking for Booga in behind. Darko, that was his chance for the hat-trick. He hasn't taken it. And now Howe on the ball. Crosses again. This time we do concede the corner. I mean, we've scored 3 offside goals in today's game, all which have been rightly disallowed. But it's just still so frustrating. You know, we could have won this game 5-3 on another day. Instead, we'll probably go on to lose 4-2. And Darko will probably go on to get his hat-trick. Ball comes in here. Cleared away, though, by Jermaine Francis. As the clock ticks on, it looks like our winning run is going to come to an end against bottom of the league, Needham Market. We're now 12 points off the playoffs with 7 games to go. That one was a must-win. Really, really frustrating. Really disappointing. And like what I say, the quicker this season does end, the better. While we did have a chance of the playoffs, so it could have been an immaculate comeback. I think that is probably the 5th out of 6 nails in the coffin as of right now. It's still doable, but it's going to be an almost impossible task. We need to probably win 6, if not 7, of our last 7 matches, and that is going to be a really, really tough ask. So I can't really see us getting into the playoffs. We've got a game now away at Wroxham, and hopefully we can redeem ourselves in that one, because in that game that was just frustrating and very poor. Here we have it then. Here's how we line up for the second game of today's episode away at Wroxham. We line up again in our 4-2-4 formation with Taylor in goal. A back four of Beresford, Dodd, Cunningham and Bateson. Cunningham back from suspension, so that is very big for us. Diol and DPD in the midfield once more with Francis and Apengteng on the wings. Teniola and Sarson get the nod up front. Lacey drops to the bench. I don't think he had a bad game in the last one, but he failed to score. We've got another good option in Reece Sarson, so let's see if he can rediscover his form from the start of the year, get back on the goal scoring sheet once more, and he might be able to keep himself in that side. I'm liking the way we are rotating between Sarson and Lacey, and we might have a new striker coming in through the door. If not, it might be a deal that we have to wait until the summer. Like I said, there will be a big rebuild in the summer. I'm not too sure if many of these players will be here next year, because it has been a massively disappointing season. I do still want to keep a few of them. I think Taylor's already signed a new contract with the football club. Cunningham as well, I'm pretty sure, has signed a new deal. You know, the real core, but players like Beresford, Wright, I'm still not sure about Jermaine Francis either. I really have liked him over the last couple of seasons. We've got the option to trigger his contract by a further year, but for the wages that he's on, he's not really produced the output that we needed from him this season. He might have had a down season. Next season, he might come back a better player. If we can maybe agree a new contract with him on less wages potentially, but as of right now, I can't say I'm overly keen to keep him at the football club. In 17 minutes gone, Wroxham had the first chance of the game there. Wroxham had the first chance of the game there, but unfortunately for them, they were unable to convert. Francis now on the ball, plays it back into Diol. Can he play it back down the line here? He does. He finds Beresford in a bit of space. Can he get one into the box? Diol now. He finds Sarson. Great first touch. Great finish. That is the Reece Sarson that we all know and love. And 19 minutes on the clock. He's finally back on the score sheet. Reece Sarson finally has another #United goal. Great build-up play from us. We really overloaded them in the wide areas, and it seemed all too simple for us. Sarsen with a great first touch away from the defender, and he rockets it into the back of the net. It's Wroxham 0, #1. The perfect start to today's game, especially being away from home. If we're serious about maybe getting into playoffs this season, 3 points here would be absolutely massive, as Clements picks up the ball here and he finds Doe. Looks over the top for Timlin, does win the header, but that one will roll through to Callum Taylor. 24 minutes on the clock now. Taylor has the ball here. Can he distribute it to one of our centre-backs maybe? I don't think so, so he's going to look long for Alex Teniola. Doesn't get anywhere near him though, and Pitcher wins that. Clements now sends one over the top, but Dodd is far too good to be able to be beaten by a ball like that. Cunningham now, he sends one long, looking for Sarsen. Not really too sure why we're playing the long direct ball here. That does not suit us and the tactics I'm trying to employ. Another great interception there from Dodd. And now a Pengteng looks over the top to Reece Sarsen. Another opportunity for him here. Can he finish? Rounds the keeper, and that is the Reece Sarsen we've seen from him over the last couple of months. Just straight to keeper. Poor finish there. That should be 2-0 to the Tags, and it should be a second there for Reece Sarsen in my opinion. There is the half-time whistle then, 1-0 to the Tags. Not a lot has really happened, to be fair. You know, they had an early chance, we scored the goal and then had another chance. Apart from that, nothing has happened so far in today's game. I'm just going to quickly tell them though to focus to play in the wide areas and get the fullbacks really pushing on to be overlapping, because we've shown so far, if we overload them in the wide areas, they're clearly there to be gotten at. Let's get into the second half. Throwing over on the far side for Wroxham, Dempsey finds Duffy and he goes back into Doe, clips one forward, keepers come out, and thankfully he is able to claim that one. An hour gone on the clock here. Callum Taylor with the ball. I think Cunningham's on there for me. Can he distribute it there? No, he's going to go long. Again, looking for the right hand side. I'm not really too sure why. Eventually breaks here to Jermaine Francis. Can he pick the pass? He looks to go alone, takes the shot on, and Jermaine Francis finally has his first goal of the season. We're nearly in April, and finally Francis, who's maybe heard about me talking about his future at the club, he's maybe heard about me wanting to release him, and finally he's got himself on the score sheet. Should the keeper be doing better with that one? I certainly think so. I'm surprised he didn't take that one a little bit closer to the goal, to be honest with you. He does beat Green at his near post, but I'm never ever going to complain about Jermaine Francis getting on that score sheet. And if we have a look here, just the 2 assists in 29 appearances for him so far this season. I think you can all understand why I was considering keeping him at the club, but if he's going to start scoring goals like that again, I have no reason as to why I wouldn't want to keep him around. I am now going to bring on Jonathan Lacey though for Alex Teniola and play him as a poacher. Teniola not really being too involved in the game, a little bit tired as well for me, so he's going to come off. In terms of some other changes then, we're going to bring off DPD and get Ellison Wright on in at that midfield, and Kojo Pengteng is also going to come off for Rory Hill, and he's going to come on that left hand side as a winger and just try and make himself a little bit more useful in this game than what he was in the last one. 20 minutes to go, 2-0 to the Tags. I wouldn't say it's comfortable, but I wouldn't say we're looking nervous right now. Black with the ball into the box, and Dempsey with a big chance there. 15 minutes to go. Hopefully we can see this one out. Dodd picks up the ball here from our goal kick and we'll look to play out from the back. Beresford now with the ball. He finds Ellison Wright on off the bench. Diol now finds Sarsen. He looks for a ball in behind to Jermaine Francis. Driving forward with the ball here. Ball into the box. Lacey! Goal! Lino keeps his flag down. That one is not going to stand. The Lino's kept his flag down, but the referee has disallowed it for some reason. The lino kept his flag down. It looks like he is just about offside. Great ball in from Francis. What a finish though that is from Lacey. I'll tell you what, Jonathan Lacey, he's a very deadly finisher if you give him chances. He's not really wasteful like Reece Sarsen. These two have not really played with each other too much as of right now, so let's see how this partnership does work. I mean, Diol is in behind here. Can we get the third? Yes, we can. Rio Diol with his third goal of the season. Pretty underrated signing in my opinion. He's been pretty steady for the majority of this campaign. This is the United we've seen over the last couple of matches. Maybe the last game was just a bit of a blip because we were having to play a right back who's 5'9" at centre back. It's understandable why we lost the last game. Now Cunningham's back in that back line. He's performing well. The team's performing well, and this one is going to be another 3 points coming back to, is it Essex? I'm pretty sure it's Essex with the Tags. We are now only 8 points off the playoffs with 6 games to go, if obviously results do remain the way that they are. I'm not really too sure what our goal difference is, but we did have a few batterings at the start of the campaign, so a couple more goals today would obviously be very nice. Cunningham with some nice distribution there, unfortunately can't quite make the pass. We really want a clean sheet in this game, so fingers crossed we can keep it. Bateson with a poor clearance there. Now Pitcher looks for a ball in, well defended though there by Ryan. He drives us forward with the ball on off the bench. He's got energy to burn. He finds Jonathan Lacey, also on off the bench. To the byline he goes, cuts back. McCain though with a pretty easy tackle there. Now Duffy, who's injured, picks up the ball. That is never going to be enough to beat Dodd. And now Bateson, he finds Hill. Back into Bateson here. Apologies, my alarm just went off there. Bateson, ball in, looking for Lacey. That one is cleared. Diol now finds Jermaine Francis, shoots or crosses, I'm not really sure, but it's come to Lacey. Jonathan Lacey with his 9th goal of the season. Like what I say, Fox in the box, deadly inside the 18-yard box. You give him half a sniff, he will convert. Will that count as an assist for Jermaine Francis? I mean, he could do with it, to be fair, with these current statistics this season. Another shot that's beaten the keeper at the near post. It's now Wroxham 0, United 4. There is the full-time result. A great way to bounce back after losing to bottom of the league. I'm very happy with the result and the way that you played. No one really gave us a chance to pick up the 3 points there. Maybe we've got to start the next game with Sarton and Lacey up front. Like what I say, we've got 3 really good strikers now. All of them seem more than comfortable to get into that 15-20 goal season mark over the course of a full campaign. Only 8 points outside the playoffs now. I mean, it's technically 9 because our goal difference is really bad, but I'm sure stranger things have happened. I'll see you on the next episode now for our final 2 games of the season. Whatever they may entail, you'll have to come back in a few days' time and see what that looks like.